Hello folks, and welcome to the OceanState Cuisine, where in today's video we got something pretty different. After watching this video today, you will never reheat pasta again in a microwave. So this is going to be a rather short video because again the dish is already made and we're just going to be reheating it. But what we're going to be doing is what they called fried pasta. Or in my case, I call it cremated pasta, because I cook mine pretty darn well. So to get started here, we want to heat up a skillet. And on my stove, again, my stove cooks rather high, I'm going to heat it on medium heat. Just going to add a pat of butter. Now, you don't want to add too much butter or oil to this because you kind of want the pasta to stick a bit to the pan. So that's why using a non-Teflon pan is sometimes the best way to go. The reason being is because you usually have to use like a metal utensil or a spatula. Because as this tends to start sticking to the bottom of the pan, you really have to kind of scrape into it to release it, if you really want to get that cremated type look and taste. And when you add the pasta to the pan, you want to hear that sizzle. Now, when you're doing this, you don't want to use a pasta with tons of sauce on it. Now, if you just want to heat it up and make it a little bit lightly brown just to eat it again, then yeah, the amount of sauce doesn't matter. But if you want to make it more like a burnt pasta, or what we call the fried pasta, you want it kind of on the dry side. The main thing I don't like about reheating pasta in a microwave is that it makes it very soft. It makes the pasta very soft. Now the pan I'm using here has seen better days, and this one's got a weird Teflon coating. It doesn't chip, so it doesn't usually get inside the food. But we could see that there is a little bit of like scrape marks in it. But it came out perfectly fine. One of these days I gotta get myself a good cast iron skillet. So anyways, the next thing to do now is just let this fry now and don't touch it, depending on how brown or burnt or whatever you want it. Now, let me talk a little bit about charred foods. Charred foods is not the healthiest thing if you eat it all the time. Let's face it, what's one of the best parts of a steak when you grill it? It's those charred fatty edges, right? What's the best part of a lasagna at times? It's those burnt little edges that we get after we bake it. Some foods don't taste burnt even if it looks burnt. Now, a piece of toast, for instance, doesn't taste well, as we know, when it's burnt. Because let's face it, if you went to eat cupcakes every day, that wouldn't be too healthy either. Everything when it comes to eating in your food is balance and moderation. And this is actually very popular. YouTube's got quite a few videos of people making fried pasta. Now, a good indication to tell when food's ready to like flip or whatever when it comes to frying something like this is that the pieces of the food kind of cling together, like making corned beef hash. And we could see that some of the images here, you could see that it's starting to brown on the edges of the pasta. And you could use any kind of pasta when it comes to doing this. Spaghetti's the most popular. Alright, so I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to flip it. We're going to see what it starts to look like. Okay, it's starting to crisp up. We could see it right there. But that's nothing. Wait till a little bit later. My father actually got me into doing this with leftover pasta, and me and him like it. I'm not kidding. Burnt. Alright, so that's about it for now. Now we're just going to let it sit again and continue to cook on the other side. But again, depending on how you like yours, just cook it the way that you like it. Less time, higher heat, lower heat, whatever. Okay, now I may turn some of you guys off right now because now I'm getting ready to turn this again. It's been about 4 to 5 minutes. And look at that. Isn't that perfect, folks? That's literally the way that I like it. Because when I plate it up, you're going to see what I'm going to do to this. And it really looks and tastes out of this world. But again, if you don't like yours that well done, just cook it less. Alright, now it's time to plate this up. and make this a really good tasting dish. There's two things I add to it once I plate it up that really puts it over the top. And these items are going to be no surprise. We're going to advance the video a little bit here, just kind of make it look a little decent looking on the plate. And then the first thing we're going to add to this is a pat of regular butter. Because you're probably wondering throughout this whole video, with that amount of gravy or that amount of sauce, this must taste awfully dry. Well, the butter's going to take care of that. So I'm just going to mix this around, get that butter like well coated on all the pasta. And then next comes the king, the Parmesan cheese. And for this type of dish right here, the best Parmesan cheese, believe it or not, that I like for this is the regular canned like Kraft Parmesan cheese. Call me crazy. And I load it on. Now, if you don't want to use the butter and this amount of Parmesan cheese, if you heat up a little sauce on the side, I recommend adding it to the pasta after you've cooked it. So yes, you could always add more pasta sauce to this dish later on. And so there we have it, folks, my version of fried pasta. And now looking at it, it doesn't even look that burnt, right? But let me tell you, this is absolutely delicious. Again, you will never use that microwave again. So again, folks, thank you for watching the OceanState Cuisine. Remember to sub up for more awesome videos coming your way. Ring that bell notification so you know each time I release a new video, and leave a comment down below. We always love to hear from you. And until the next time, you folks have yourself a fantastic day.